What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have a meta deck discussion for the Digimon TCG. More regionals information is coming out, and we are having some more information on how the meta is going for BT23 for the end of 2025 and getting into the finals. You know, we just had the European finals just this last weekend. We're going over the Versus Games Orlando Regionals. So that was in North America, and that was the week before. Hopefully, I'm hoping to bring a, what happened in the UK and look at the UK finals. Probably come next week when we get some more data out of there. But right now, we are looking at what happened at Versus Games the week prior. So we're gonna look into this BT23 regionals, see what's happening, maybe make some predictions on what we might see in Europe. Of course, Europe has a different meta a little bit than North America. You go to other places, Oceania, you see other decks kind of topping, and you just see different things than you would in North America. But we're going to get into it here. As always, we like to thank the Eggman Events. They do a really great job. I love their graph and just a really easy and fun time looking at deck lists. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. And of course, we had the Ultimate Cup that I went to just a little while ago and took Mastemon. Didn't do very well, but as you can see, Mastemon did make two tops in this regionals. Hudie still bringing the pain at 5 tops, so almost pretty much a third of the showings. Jesmon at 3. Royal Knights and Mastemon at 2, and then we had some 1-ups. Beelzemon X, 7 Demon Lords had a showing, Crossheart, and of course Rocks. Only 1 Rocks, so that's kind of interesting as well because they usually do pretty good. But we're going to get into it right now, and here we're going to take a look and what we got for top. First, we got a Royal Knight deck. So Royal Knight deck's still strong, especially with all the cards. Oh my gosh, some of the cards that this deck got out of BT23 are actually pretty strong. And we look here. Obviously, King Drizzle's the egg. The new you see the people playing the new Magnamon, the new Craniumon, new Gallantmon, and Dynasmon. All very good cards. And then, playing things like Crimson Blaze, Marcus. I faced someone who played... I think it was Hiroko Amanakawa. I think that's what they're basically Hero's dad from Ghost Game, and he's pretty fierce against other decks. That's honestly a really good stun card. Digital Gate Open, so you can play Tamers for free and potentially search your stuff. It's really good comboing, and then just kind of the old lineup, but definitely playing a lot of the new stuff. And I can see the consistency. I really can. It's getting easier and easier for this deck to OTK with this Omnimon, or just put pressure on the board all the time. So, yeah, it's a good deck. It's going to continue to be a good deck. Getting into the next one here, we have a couple Hudimons here. And there's always a bit of variation there, so it's nice to see. This Hudimon is definitely focusing in on the loop, playing the Sumamon, playing maxing Palmon and Terriermon, not playing any of the other the CS rookies. You can see here you got Gotsumon, even playing Ukomon as a more of a consistency card to basically get to these guys, to get to your pieces and set up your next turn's raising, which is understandable. I like this maxing out on these guys, not so much the Ankylomon, but definitely like this. I like the Pyeldramon. I like the Pyeldramon at 2. I don't know if I'm playing it 2. I was playing it at 1. I might have bumped it up to 2, but I can't remember if I took anything out. And then this 2, making use of Mirai, pitching stuff to then set up your hands, as well as play these for free and thin your deck as fast as possible. Seems like a pretty solid strategy, honestly. Seems like a pretty solid strategy. But it's not the only strategy, because this deck, you see so many different versions of this deck play. That was basically the OTK to the max is what that was, is draw, 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 kill, kill, kill. Whereas in this deck, you can see here, playing the Yokomon, only playing the 3 Terriermon, and then playing more of the other Hudie rookies. Similar champion lineup, although playing less champions, which I think I had this guy at least at 3, because I don't like him any lower than that. Same kind of thing. I'm only playing the 1 Ultramon, but I like the Venusmon. I like being able to play Venusmon as a stun card. So that's also an option as well. And of course, playing more CS Tamers. I'm on 3 of this, but I can see why somebody would be on 4. Whereas I'm on 3 of these and at least 1 or 2 of this guy. I just don't know if, I think I'm playing Yugo still. So I'm trying to debate whether is Yugo better or is Mirai better. Yugo reduces play cost by 2 when something is played. Sometimes it's better to have memory, like the Kuremi Detective Agency. Sometimes it's better to trash and draw. So, and then of course, trying to figure out what the best options are for the options. Definitely Comet Hammer. I'm seeing people lean more towards this as a stun card rather than playing something like Woken Palm or the green one, Crescent Leaf. But I also think the Ice Wall is a nice touch too. But there's so many good tech cards because you can play Ice Wall, you could play HPD, which furthers your plays. It's a freebie. You could play Blinding Ray. You could play Gravity Crush. So it's really what's the best low cost option to play in this deck because it gives you access to so many. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. I do like this build. Definitely like this build. I like the OTK one too, but I feel like it limits you in some aspects of what you can do. Beelzemon taking 3rd place. Or 4th place. That's actually pretty cool. Maxing out on the Impmon. Of course, the new Impmon is so good. And playing 3 of the BT19 Tamer Impmon. I'm playing 1 of this when I was playing my build, but I guess getting your Tamers on board is definitely important, especially if it's the old Mako. Yeah, I can see why. Maybe that's important to get that early game. And then Wizardmon playing the EX1 Wizardmon is kind of interesting. I think all your Digimon with Retaliation gain Rush. So I guess if you have Retaliation inheritable, which you get off this Impmon, you would gain Rush. So I mean, it's a good way to get go up in your line really fast and attack on that turn. Potentially attacking with Ballmons when when attacking the old Ballmon, which I guess why this guy's playing 4 of the BT10 one, which is an interesting play. As well, you have Beelzemon Ace. Obviously at 3. But I like the ratios here. I definitely like the ratios here. 3 and 3. I would be at 4, but I can see where Wisdom Training might give you some more boosts. And then just none of the new Wizardmon. And I can kind of see why. It's a cool card, but I just don't know if it does enough for you in this format. Not sure. But other than that, it looks like a pretty sweet build. So we keep going here. 7 Demon Lords. This could be interesting because I haven't seen a 7 Demon Lords deck top in a while. Deltamon, that's kind of cool. The new Belphemon X-Antibody, and the new Belphemon in there, that's pretty cool, actually. Of course, got to have Lucemon. It's just such a good card. And then, maxing out on Beelzemon. Is that the old creepy? I know that's EX6 creepy. Of course. And then Levi X. Shoto. Yeah, of course, Shoto. Blocker's Delight. Lilith. pretty standard, although making use of the new Belphemon stuff, so that's interesting. Because I think you can activate its ability start of your main phase before gate goes off, because I think that's, well, no, it's start of your turn or end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, either way, but interesting, very interesting, and obviously worked out well. They came in 5th place. Got a Digimon GX. Is it what you think it is? Yes, it is. It's a Genku turtle deck with Jesmon, with the new Jesmon. At least they use a Jesmon now, because the new Jesmon's so good. Before it was just like, yeah, Jesmon sucks, let's just play Genku. Hudie. This one's playing some Palmon as well as some Terriermon, splitting up the love. Playing Justimon Blitzarm as a top end. Yep. Another Royal Knights deck. Again, very similar. This one's playing Gankumon and the new token, which is pretty good. Playing Congo as a way to stun your opponent and slow them down. Yep. CS, our first CS Mastemon here. Is it CS? It's not CS. It's pure Mastemon. Playing the Patamon engine. Playing the Salamon. This is what I'm thinking about changing in my deck, is having more end of turn DNA Digivolving, because I had times when I couldn't put this guy out and get my end of turn. So that was unfortunate. So yeah, definitely thinking that this might be the way to go in the future. Pretty much the same level 5 ratio. Same high end, although I'm not big on the Ordinmon. Only playing 2 of the EX6. This is something I've seen before, and I wasn't sure, because I feel like this is a better card than this one. So I felt like, oh, you got to have at least 3 of this. But and honestly, sometimes I didn't see it. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Definitely the Repamon's good. This is so similar to my deck, other than the Salamons. It's actually pretty funny. That's like probably the only difference, is I wasn't running these Salamons. And I was playing an extra Mirai, so I think that, yeah, probably like if I dropped that and I dropped the other Salamon I was playing, I would have room for two of these, because I was playing the BT16 Salamon. Very similar. Obviously, this person did a little bit better than I did with the deck. Same kind of thing. This one's running Chimeramon, but same kind of... no, this is pure. This is pure... pure Jesmon. Probably very similar to what I was running at the last Ultimate Cup I did. Actually, very, very similar. Although I was running the old X-Antibody. So it'd be nice to see what this does in comparison. But pretty similar to what I was running. Yeah. Not bad. I actually like this. Pure Jesmon. It's not even... Funny, they call it Jesmon GX, but it's not even running... It wasn't even running Jesmon GX, was it? No, it's not even running GX in this. That's hilarious. Another Hudie-mon. Similar here, not many changes. Playing the Cyberspace Eden. That's a different one. Our third GX deck. Again, this is Genku Turtle again with the Jesmon. So very limited space in the deck when it's that way. And whether you play Gurimon or Koromon, really doesn't change it all that much. Other than actually technically if you get the draw with the Gurimon sooner than you do with the Koromon. Our other CS Maste. This one's a little bit. So this one's running the Salamon, which is why I was running. I wasn't running the Kudamon. I was running a Pillamon, and then Nieromon, which I'm also leaning towards that instead of the other guy, instead of the Tokomon. Again, very similar lineup, a little bit different. Running 2 of the aces. So that's pretty cool. Now running the Digital Gate Open, that's not a bad one too to think about really. Just being able to drop a 4-cost Tamer is always really, really good. But very similar. Only running 2 of this Angelwoman. That's interesting to me. And focusing more in on this one. Alright, we have a Crossheart deck. Not that I know anything about Crosshearts because it's one of the decks I've never, ever played. So, yeah. Mostly just Taiki, obviously, and the Tri-Tamer. It's got Valderon, that's kind of cool. And, yeah, lots of Pikmons using 2 different eggs. Oh, playing Ugo, that's why. Yeah. I really don't know much about Crossheart. Rocks deck. We have our control-based rocks, Metallic Dramon, using some Gotsumon engine. No Ukomon, which is, you know, it's preference really. I feel you don't need it. You can, if you like it better, you can play it. Yeah, this is pretty standard. Maxing out on the unique emblem. Playing a bunch of closes. One Zophyr Caboose is always kind of cool. It's a tech card. And then lastly, our last one is another CS, top 16. This one's playing a bigger loop deck, but it's also including some Hudie cards here. I've never seen anyone play the Kabuterimon, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Hudie Net Cafe, that's one I haven't seen people play too much either. So definitely some variety for the Hudie deck. So that is it, guys. That's our top 16 for the Versus Games Orlando Regionals. We will have the data coming out hopefully soon from what happened in the UK, so we can share with you guys next week. What do you guys think about this? Hudie's still dominating. Jesmon is good as both Genku and Pure, although Pure I feel takes a little bit more skill to come in a top 16 with. And actually has a good matchup against the Genku Turtle, so that's kind of interesting. What do you think about Beelzemon and 7 Demon Lords getting tops? Do you think this is a one-off, or if they could, grab more spots in a top 16? Mastemon's still doing well. Royal Knight's still doing well. As always, not well enough, I think, that they're going to get mowed over by a ban list, but well enough that, it's worth a look, right? But let me know your guys' thoughts about all this down below. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. That's all for now, folks.